Everybody, this is Coach Connors. I just wanted to show you what I think is the fastest, most efficient way to strength train for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Most people that train in Jiu-Jitsu have a full life. They have time demands on their hands. They don't have a lot of extra time to do a lot of different strength training. You know, if you get a job and a family and you're still trying to train Jiu-Jitsu, this is a really easy way to get sport-specific strength training in for Jiu-Jitsu. You can do this in as little as 6 minutes. You can invest as much as 12 minutes. You do it 2 to 3 times a week. You can do it immediately after your training. So you're really not going to add any extra time to your training. You know, a lot of new students come up to me and they ask me about strength training because they want to get better at Jiu-Jitsu. But in my mind, it doesn't make any sense to take a night off and strength train for 2 or 3 hours when you really want to get better at Jiu-Jitsu. The only way you're going to get better in the beginning especially is investing the time on the mats, learning the techniques, rolling, getting good at Jiu-Jitsu. It's still good to be strong, so we're going to invest as little as time as possible here to get really strong. So when I'm going to use this, I have really inexpensive equipment. I get a piece of PVC pipe here. This is about 4.5 inches in diameter. I get it at Home Depot. Really cheap. I don't know if it's $1, $2. Then I get some really inexpensive sort of carpeting, or you can get like they sell a little piece of carpet that might go in front of a door. I wrap that up, tape it up with duct tape. It's probably less than $5 to put this all together. And this is going to represent the human neck. So if I have 4.5 inches diameter here, and I put all this here, it's going to be a pretty thick neck, probably about a 19-inch neck or something. But this is going to be fine for our training. This is going to represent human neck, and we're going to train our chokes with this piece of equipment. So the first choke we're going to train is for the guillotine choke. So I'm going to use just an Olympic bar. I push on the bar, and now I'm going to get a hold of it. This is how I like to grip. So the hook grip like this, just like my guillotine. I throw my leg over the top, and I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can, but just for 10 seconds. So normally I would throw on the clock 10-second rounds, and I'd squeeze this as hard as I can for 10 seconds, and then I give myself 10 seconds to switch and go to the other arm. Get my grip, throw my leg over, keep everything in place, and I squeeze as hard as I can. So a couple things you'll notice is you'll feel a little bit of pain in this bone here, which is good. You're going to make this bone thicker. You're going to make it a little bit tougher. You're going to be able to bring more power to your guillotine. The other thing you're going to start to realize is what's squeezing. Because as you squeeze, this thing is, you know, it's got some padding on it, but it's not completely unforgiving. You're going to get some feedback. So you're going to learn what's really tightening this up, what's really choking this neck here that I'm trying to choke. You know, for the most part, when we're doing a guillotine, we want to have cinching pressure, which is squeezing the neck, but also want to have crimping pressure, bending their neck. When I'm doing this, I'm learning both of those pressures, and I'm learning how to apply it. A lot of people, when they first start Jiu-Jitsu, they may be really strong, but when they go to choke somebody, they just flex their muscles, and they squeeze as hard as they can, but they don't really choke their opponent. So we're not interested in flexing so much as interested in closing that scissors. And this teaches us how to do it, and it makes us specifically strong at doing it. So I typically would do 3 sets of 10 seconds on each arm, with 10 seconds in between going back and forth. So if I do that, in 3 minutes, I train my guillotine choke. And I'm going to get stronger. If you do this on a regular basis, in a couple, 3 weeks, you're going to find a dramatic difference in your strength, your ability to choke the opponent. Now I'm going to do my rear naked choke. So I put it here like this. Same thing. I get my rear naked choke grip, and I squeeze for 10 seconds as hard as I can. I don't want to do longer than 10 seconds because it's going to be hard to give 100% effort if I take longer than 10 seconds. So that's all I need is 10 seconds squeeze, maximal squeeze, and then I take a 10-second rest as I switch to my other arm. I'm going to feel it here when I'm squeezing it. So this is going to teach me to close that V up, not just flex my arm. I was training with one of my white belt students the other day. I let him get a rear naked choke on me, and he was flexing his arms, but he wasn't closing the scissors, so he really wasn't choking me. This is going to teach me about the technique, how I'm going to use my arm, how I'm going to use my whole body in order to close the choke off and choke my opponent, and it's going to make me specifically stronger. I'm not really going to gain any muscle mass when I do this type of strength training, but I am going to get stronger. I'm going to recruit more motor neurons in these positions here, so I'm going to get really strong at doing what I want to do, choke my opponent. So if you want to get strong for jiu-jitsu, this is the best use of your time. So in 3 minutes, I've gotten a lot stronger with my guillotine. Another 3 minutes, I got a lot stronger with my rear naked choke. And now I'm going to train my gi chokes. When I first started this, I noticed an immediate benefit. My chokes got so strong. If I got my hands on somebody's collar, I could almost always finish the choke. So I'm going to just use an under grip and an over grip. I sort of put my knee on the chest here like this. Same thing, 10 seconds as hard as I can. And it's going to make my hands stronger. I'm probably not going to get bigger hands. I might get a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to grow muscles in my hands, but I'm going to get a lot stronger in my hands. And then I switch to the other side, my under grip here, my over grip here. So in another 3 minutes, I just trained my choking, my gi choking. So I got guillotine, rear naked choke, gi choking. Now if I really wanted to go crazy, I'm not going to show you this, but I have some heavy bags over there. I hang from a heavy bag. So I get a grip, my head on one side, grip like this. I put my hooks in and I hang from the bag for 10 seconds, squeeze as hard as I can. Then I switch to the other side. And that sort of trains just my overall squeezing so I can control my opponent's torso. It makes my back control tighter. It just makes me generally stronger in that pulling position. It teaches me to take all the space away too. That's the great thing about these methods. It's making my technique a little bit better also, and it's making me stronger. So if I lift weights, if I do cleans, or if I do squats or deadlifts, that's not going to teach me how to be a little bit better in the technique. If you do that other type of strength training, you're going to get stronger, and it's good to do that. But this is really efficient, super time-effective way to get stronger specifically for jiu-jitsu. So the heavy bag, I do the same thing, 10 seconds. I get a 10-second break. I go to the other side. So in 3 minutes, I get another sort of overall strength training thing. So the whole program, if I did it all, would be 12 minutes. So I can do this after my jiu-jitsu practice. I come to training, do a class, do a bunch of randori. If I'm tired, I can go do this in 12 minutes. I have my strength training done. Or you can do it, if you have the time, do it in the morning and then go train at night. And when you go train at night, you're going to still feel good. You're going to recover really quickly from this. It's not a big tax on your system. You don't need a lot of energy to do this. You're not going to be tired when you're done. You're going to feel fine. You're going to recover really fast. Sometimes I have athletes that they go hire a strength training coach, and then they come to train at night and they're too tired to do anything because they got smoked during the training session, which doesn't make any sense. The other thing is this is super safe. I've never come close to getting injury doing this. I'm not going to pull a hamstring. I'm not going to tweak my back because I'm not really moving that much. So super safe way to train, really effective way to get strong for jiu-jitsu with a real small investment of time, small investment of money, small investment of energy, super safe. Just a great idea. Give it a try.